Wow, lots of suspensions and potential suspensions in the NFL. I don't know if it's more than usual, but I think just with how much Deshaun Watson's in the media, you almost forget about all the other stuff.
Right.
I think the number one thing we forget about, which I just need to mention, I know it's not DeAndre Hopkins, but Alvin Kamara. He fucking rocked a guy in Vegas. And what? Is he not going to get punished for that?
Dude, there hasn't been any talk.
Every single mock fantasy draft I've seen, people are like, oh, take Alvin Kamara like in the top 12, whatever. He's a top 5 running back still, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, even if that's not true, whether he's a top 5 running back or not, is no one factoring in the fact that he's not going to play probably? Maybe?
Right.
I guess not. I don't know. I guess he's just getting off scot-free. Whereas, on the other end of the spectrum, DeAndre Hopkins doesn't fight anyone. He doesn't punch anyone in the face. He's not beating the shit out of people. He doesn't have 66 masseuses in 17 months. And his story does piss me off. Let's go through this and talk about what's happening. So, Arizona Cardinals wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins said that traces of an illegal substance were detected in his system during a November NFL drug test. The NFL claims it was ostarine, a selective androgen receptor modulator, SARM, which, by the way, this is what SARMs is. This is like a step down from steroids in the bodybuilding world. It's probably safer for you than steroids. It's definitely not approved for use in professional sports. Whether he took it or not, it is speculated that he took like none of it. The amount is super, super, super low. There was 0.1% found in my system. Keep in mind, I know 0.1% sounds tiny. It's still, it's a SARM, it's a steroid. You don't need a lot for it to be effective. So I think him saying 0.1% isn't a very strong point. 0.1% of fentanyl would fucking kill you. So you can't really throw around things like 0.1% when you talk about drugs. But like what he said right here, if you know what that is, you know it's contamination, not something taken directly. I don't take any supplements. I've never taken supplements. I barely take vitamins. And he's absolutely correct about that. The NFL has a absolute zero tolerance policy on this. And it's kind of the same situation as Calvin Ridley. You know, people talk about how Calvin Ridley, what he gambled was $1,500 and he's getting this massive suspension. That's not a lot of money for an NFL player. And 0.1% of SARMs is not going to make DeAndre Hopkins a significantly better football player. But the NFL, I'm not saying I agree with the NFL, but the NFL wants to draw a hard line on zero tolerance. Doesn't matter how much. So number one, it sucks ass if he's true. If he really just like accidentally, it got mixed in with something that someone else he was using or someone he was around was using. And now he's suspended for 6 games. Calvin Ridley suspended for a year. And now let's also say that Deshaun Watson's suspension goes through, right?
Yeah.
How can you tell me that Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and Calvin Ridley all have virtually the same suspension? One of them took 0.1% of a SARM, probably accidentally.
Yeah.
The other gambled $1,500, and the other has 24 civil lawsuits of sexual allegations. How are these all in the same ballpark? It's just fucking crazy, dude. That's what's craziest to me about this whole story.